Well, hello and welcome to a rather late, but better late than never, Friday night update. I'm here with Cornay. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, thank you. How are you
Good,
doing?
good, good. Oh, glad to be finished work and looking forward to a couple of days off, I'll tell you that.
I can understand that.
Yeah. So,
TGIF.
yeah, yeah, thank God it's Friday.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. Um, this week, we're gonna start with a really quick recap of last week, and then we'll move on to this week. So last week was attachment systems number 3, and they said they have added 25 new ranged weapon attachments in game plus an update on dedicated servers and mounts.
Yeah,
So,
the updates
you,
for the dedicated server and the mounts wasn't a whole lot new of new information.
right,
Uh, so yeah, like basically the important things last week was the attachment for ranged weaponry.
right.
So bow, crossbow, rifle, shotgun, action bolt, and a pistol. Couple of scopes, which are nice. A
Okay.
silencer. Not sure why you would want to use a silencer. Uh, just kill the animal.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Hmm. So some like more arrow speed, things like that. Nice that
Yeah.
they also have it on range weaponry now. So now basically all your tools and weapons, including armor, now have attachments to them. One thing though, every weapon you crafted before last week's update, you cannot put an attachment on. It has a slot, but you cannot put it on. You have to recraft it.
Okay.
So even though it has an icon, only weapons crafted after the update you can put the attachments on.
Okay. Okay.
I tested it, and yeah, I could not put any attachments to weapons I had crafted pre-update.
Alrighty. Okay. Okay.
Let me see. Quickly going through the fixes of last week for any important stuff. Hmm. Yeah, the for building the ghost imagery didn't show up. They fixed that last week.
Right. Good. 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 Glad to hear it.
Yeah. Boop, boop. Oh yeah, and the all the craftables you put down like lights and stuff requiring electricity, which automatically like without power worked.
Yeah.
They fixed it in last week's update as well.
Okay.
So in my outpost, I had to put down a couple of cables to the lights I put on.
Right. Well, that makes
But
sense.
it's a fix. I don't mind. It was convenient that you could put down for example, a concrete mixer. You didn't have to hook it up to Warren. But hey, it was a bug and it's fixed now, so I'm glad about that.
Yeah, it was nice while it lasted.
Exactly.
Yeah, a bit like the teleporting arrows. It was good whilst it lasted, but we knew it was going to get fixed at some point.
Exactly. So let's see. Today's update.
Okay. Today is week 40, and we are looking at an armor revamp. That sounds really interesting.
Yes.
Um, 2 new armor sets and an armor
Two new
System
armor
rework.
benches. Yeah.
So we've added two new armor sets, two new armor benches, and reworked the armor system with balances and improvements.
Yep. Right. So this week's focus is the armor system. As we address some balance issues and gaps in the overall structure. These include a number of cost and stat adjustments, plus two brand new armor sets. So there is now armor available at every tier 1 till 4. Alongside this are two new benches that better organize the different tiers of armor available. Have a read into our process for identifying these issues and how we address them with the change we've rolled out. At the bottom you'll also find a note about recent character disappearances and what to do if you have been affected. This actually, I've seen quite a few people complaining about this indeed in Discord, like, hey, my prospect still had 20 days time in it, but I haven't played for weeks, and now all of a sudden my character is lost. This had to do with the accidental kick-in of the 90-day back-end, 90-day hard limit for prospects.
Ah, okay.
So people who are affected by this, they should send support at Rocketworks an email with the Steam ID and the gear those characters had. So they
Mhm.
get the characters, they get they can use remove from prospect, so they recover the character. They lose all the gear, but they will be reimbursed with the credits, the REN, and exotics for the equipment they lost.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah. So make sure you give them the relevant information and ask them to help you out if that has affected you in any way.
yeah,
Okay.
right.
Um, could you take us through the armor system improvements, please? I really
Sure.
do need to visit the toilet, so I'll be right back.
Righto. So, the armor system in Icarus has received a rework. As the game has evolved, we have looked at how armor has scaled alongside other game systems. In particular, we've looked at how to incentivize using different types of armor and added more tiered options to fill in some gaps in the structure. Different types of armor are categorized internally in one of four buckets: combat, survival, stealth, and workshop. Combat focused is the old leather armor, the new cured leather armor, the composite, and the scorpion armor. Survival focused armor is the old cloth and fur, the new wayfarer, the polar bear, and the sandworm armor. For stealth, we have the ghillie and the hunter, and workshop armors the ST700, the CX400, and the Naneo armor. ST700 being from the top of my head the well, actually, let me quickly recheck. ST700 is the hunter armor, basically for hunting, and the CX400 for mining. The changes we've made today address gaps in how the categories scale and specialize. We quickly identified we only had one easily accessible armor set for the desert biome, the cloth armor. As a tier 1 item, this didn't offer any scalability alongside other tech, so the addition of the tier 3 wayfarer armor provides an option for the warmer climates. Previously, fur and polar bear armor were both tier 2 armor, providing similar solutions for Arctic survival and similar expensive costs. We have reduced the effectiveness and cost of fur, keeping it tier 2, and moved polar armor to tier 3 using more advanced materials and reducing the polar bear pelt requirements. Hey Mike, welcome! So yeah, the polar bear armor is now a tier 3 armor. You do need, next to the fur and the polar bear pelt and rope, you also need the new resource cured leather. So keep that in mind. Yeah, let's see. This cured leather isn't really mentioned as such. Cured leather you make in the drying rack using leather and tree sap. So if you want to dry meat and you also want the cured leather, I'd suggest building a second drying rack for the cured leather. I've tested it in my outpost. It takes like 30 plus seconds for one cured leather. And you need a decent amount for your armors. So yeah, it's gonna take a while before you have created all the cured leather. So again, I suggest making a second drying rack to actually get you the cured leather. Another new item for the new armor sets is platinum weave, which in my opinion is rather expensive. It costs you 1 platinum for a platinum weave. The Wayfarer armor, it's a tier 3 one, but it takes you 28 platinum weave, so 28 platinum ingots to make a full armor set. It's rather expensive. As for the cured leather armor, you need 8 platinum weave, so 8 platinum ingots. The hunter armor now also needs platinum weave and cured leather. They made it, like I said, quite expensive, those new armors, and the change to the hunter armor. Indeed, Mike, platinum weave sounds expensive. Like I said, it costs you a platinum ingot and fiber to make a platinum weave. 1 ingot for 1 weave. So yeah, it is expensive. So they wanted to incentivize people to use different types of armor. In my opinion, it's not balanced. Because you go to normal leather armor, it's cheap to craft, but if you want to update it to your cured leather armor, it'll take 8 platinum ingots to do so. It is doable, but the Wayfarer armor with the which is like the evolution, of the cloth armor, you need a ton of platinum weave. So I think if I need to go to the desert and I don't have space armor, I just keep the cloth armor. I'm not going for the Wayfarer armor. I
Sounds
mean,
interesting.
so the cloth armor, for example, the chest piece gives you 20% heat resistance. The Wayfarer chest piece gives you 30% heat resistance. So it gives you a bit more. It gives you a bit more exposure resistance, a bit more cold resistance. The set bonus is 5% desert exposure resistance and minus 10% war consumption. But indeed, Mike, if you can survive with cloth, why make Wayfarer? It gives you slightly better stats, better buffs, but it costs a ton of materials. Like I said, 28 platinum ingots. That's a lot.
Yeah,
So you
that's
wanna
expensive.
you wanna go for a platinum attachment on your pickaxe just for your armor set, and still 28 ingots. They smelt 5 on 1, so that's 140 ore. which is like 5 nodes without platinum attachment. With platinum attachment, still at least 4 nodes.
Yeah, that's really expensive.
Yeah, and Mike says if I ain't dying, I ain't paying. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. So yeah, the new platinum weave. Yeah, not sure about it.
I wouldn't exactly say that was particularly worth it.
14 platinum weave for a hunter set armor. 14. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I think I'll pass.
yeah.
Yeah, uh,
That they added the cured leather to the polar bear armor. It's not too bad. It's 18 cured leather, so it's 18 leather from top of my head and 36 tree sap. So that's not too bad. But then again, on none of my characters I've put a talent into polar bear armor. I mean, Naneo is at least as good as polar bear armor, about as least as good. Well, actually, it is. It gives you the same amount of cold resistance as polar bear. So yeah, no. I'll keep it with my Naneo set. Right. Well, let's
okay.
continue with the update. So, stealth armors provide a unique benefit with a large stealth buff, but became too heavily weighted in this direction while lacking in baseline performance. We've increased the baseline stats for this set, but lowered the stealth buff as well, as with the addition of other talents, they can still reach incredibly high performing levels without becoming immune to threats. Stealth armor, so Gilly and Hunter. Again, Gilly armor, I don't even have talent for it, so.
No, me either.
And the Hunter said, yeah, again, why would you need this stealth? Even with the fur armor in the desert, you can avoid the animals, and with the leather armor in the forest, you can still avoid animals relatively
Yeah,
easily. Actually, when I was playing with Karel earlier this week, he had the Space Hunter armor for extra stealth, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, it ain't worth it."
yeah,
Yeah, Max says balance has to deal with animal damage and types of damage. If that's not changed, the little more stats aren't worth it. Well, depends actually. Like baseline stats isn't only physical resistance, you know. It's
yeah.
also heat and cold resistance and exposure resistance. So this can make the difference between overheating or not in the desert, or between getting frostbite or not in the Arctic. So
Yeah,
those base stats, uh, they're still kind of worth it. But yeah,
but it's a lot
the
of
material,
grind for not an
yeah,
awful
the
lot of
material
reward.
costs, exactly, the material costs, no thank you. This isn't World of Warships, says Mike. I hate gear grinds to win. I live with what I got. Yeah. I mean, if you're in, when do you have a prospect which lasts so long enough to for this platinum weave needed armor to actually become viable?
I don't. Well, I'm thinking they might have to come up with one or two.
Yeah. We're talking about like prospects which last like 24 hours. We actually need 24 hours or so.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Uh, yeah, so
we've
fine.
been there
Yeah,
before with the grind, and it's not necessarily fun, especially if you don't actually, if it's not worth it. What's the point?
exactly. Like it's nice to have these kinds of armor, and it was fun to craft them the first time, like when we did a mission to where we unlocked the stuff. And it's
Yeah,
nice in an outpost because you craft the armor and you can use it for weeks on end.
yeah,
But for missions,
no,
no. Like I said, the Wayfarer armor, it takes so much platinum weave. The Hunter armor as well. Just go with the space armor.
yeah,
And finally, the composite was asking a too high cost for the bus it provided. This is definitely true.
yeah,
Uh, so we have buffed them to account for the steep price. So the price stayed the same, but you get more buffs. In particular, durability has received a substantial improvement, and we've also removed gold from the resources required. Well, you still need composites. You don't need the gold no more, indeed. You still need composites, which you can make with either platinum or gold ore, but now with a whole platinum weave. uh, you might actually want to use gold for making the composites again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we always ended up with an excess of platinum, and we never knew what to use it for except weapons.
Yeah. So yeah, nice rebalancing for those armors, and I do like the durability increase for the composite armor.
Yeah,
Because if you have to frequently repair it, it's gonna cost a lot of materials. It's still like now if you if you want to go for it, you have to go like all the way to a material processor and make quite a lot of composites. Let me see, 42, 54, 62, 74 composites for an entire set. So it is still expensive,
hell
but
yeah,
it's actually a decent armor with the current stats as well, especially now with the better durability. It's quite
yeah,
decent armor actually.
yeah. Well, I can see how that would be beneficial if you're in the outpost, but I still don't see how it's going to equate to missions.
True, it's expensive to make in a prospect,
Yeah, but your
but
resources are renewable in a prospect. That's the
in an
difference.
outpost they're
In an
renewable.
outpost, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a very good all-round armor set composite, like for both hot and cold environments. It's a very good all-round set, but for a prospect, uh, pretty expensive to make.
yeah,
But if you're in an outpost and you don't have the space armor, or you go in and you want to take other stuff than a space armor, it's a pretty decent replacing. Yeah, Mike says, I guess if you're on a 30-day mission and you just want to get everything casually, I can see that on those new armors. Not a good
yeah,
streaming situation though, indeed, Mike, indeed. Like, the stream will get boring. 30 days, the same prospect, and you've done the actual mission already, and then you're just bobbing around and making everything. Nah, indeed, it get boring to watch.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. And it's not like you can stream at twice the speed.
Nope. Anyway, let's continue.
Yes, please do.
The new armor benches. So, we have added 2 new armor benches, so we have an option at every tier, allowing for easier grouping of different classes of armor and providing a simpler system for us to add and adjust armor sets in future. Maybe we get new armor sets in the future? Interesting.
Mm,
Uh, I checked out those benches in my outpost. Meh. There's not really much difference between them, to be honest.
really?
Really.
That's a surprise.
I mean, sure, the tier 4 armor, like the composite armor, is a tier 4 that you can
Hmm.
only make in the tier 4 bench.
Yeah.
Oh, and you need to hook the tier 4 bench up to electricity because it's an electric textiles bench. And the tier 3 you can make, basically tier 3 you can make like every armor except the composites. Wayfarer, Cured Leather, Hunter, and Polar Bear are tier 3, so you do need the tier 3 armor bench for those. You no longer can make them in the machining bench, the Hunter armor. You no longer can make it in the machining bench. Machining bench? Fabricator, sorry. No, machining bench. You have to do it in the tier 3, the advanced textiles bench. And the composite armor no longer in the fabricator. You need to make it in the electric textiles bench. Checked and confirmed this. So the
Okay.
tier 1 drying rack is the same as before, with the only addition being cured leather as a recipe. A new requirement for the cured leather armor and rebalanced hunter and polar bear armors at tier 3. The tier 2 textiles bench also stays the same, except for the move of the polar bear and the hunter armor to the tier 3 bench to account for their balance changes. Indeed, you can't make them in the textiles bench no more. The
Don't
two
have
new
the
benches,
don't have
sorry,
the talents for them anyway.
the blueprints. Well, Hunter is just blueprints, and in the polar bear is talent and
Talent. Yeah.
blueprint. Hunter armor is blueprint only.
Okay.
So the two new benches are the tier 3 advanced textiles bench and the tier 4 electric textiles bench.
Okay.
The tier 3 one, the advanced textiles bench, can craft the new wayfarer armor, cured leather armor, and the pre-existing hunter and polar bear armors. It can also craft platinum weave, new material required for the wayfarer, cured leather, and rebalanced hunter armors. Platinum weave, yeah.
Hmm.
The tier 4 electric textiles bench can craft all armor sets from tiers 1, 2, and 3 alongside the composite armor. Scorpion and Sandworm boss armor can be crafted at any of the 3 textiles benches, so tier 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike said, going to need more drying racks for sure. Yeah, like I said, 31 or 32 seconds for a, what's it called, for a cured leather. So it's gonna take some time. Then
Wow.
again, once you've crafted your armor, you don't need the cured leather for anything else, except for maybe repair.
Oh wow.
But yeah, for the initial making of the stuff, you might want to put up a second drying rack.
Yeah.
So these two new benches clearly distinguish the armor sets into respective tiers and allows tier 3 armor to feel like a real milestone. Meh, meh, meh. This also provides viable options in comparison to workshop armors, making you less dependent on them and giving you more flexibility in what you choose to bring to the service. Again, especially for your outpost, not necessarily for a prospect. If you know you're gonna finish a prospect in 6 hours or so,
There's no point.
you either go for space armor if you have it. If you don't have it, or if you desperately want to bring other space stuff with you, you don't have the room for your space armor. You're just gonna run with leather armor and fur.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not in a prospect. I'm not going for the wayfarer or the cured leather armor or the hunter armor, let alone composite armor. It just takes
No,
too much materials.
I wouldn't either.
So yeah, make you less dependent on the workshop armor and give you more flexibility in what you choose to bring to the surface. Yeah, no, not really. only in an outpost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sounding I don't know, it's not sounding particularly
It's nice, but not necessarily very useful.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can see why they did it, and I'm chuffed that they did it. But
Yeah, they should make the platinum weave cheaper.
yeah.
I mean, if people now start complaining like it costs too much platinum, right? And they don't want to change the platinum weave resource cost. What they're gonna do? Up the percentage of platinum ore, meaning you will have less titanium, for example, less gold.
Yeah.
No.
And given the fact that it's platinum weave, you can't exactly use something else for it like copper.
Exactly. Anyway, let's continue, shall we?
New armor sets.
Yep.
The Wayfarer and Cured leather armor are now craftable at the Tier 3 Advanced Textiles bench. These address the gaps we've discussed above. Wayfarer for the warmer desert climates, and Cured leather as a more protective and durable step between leather and composite armor. The Wayfarer requires a new material, platinum wave, which was discussed above, which is craftable on the Tier 3 armor bench also. Cured leather armor requires two new materials, cured leather, a new addition to the drying rack recipe list, and platinum weave as mentioned above. The rebalanced hunter armor set also requires platinum weave and cured leather. These two new armor sets aim to provide players with additional options for progression and work alongside our new benches to provide more consistent options for multiple biomes and playstyles. Expect to see more work done on this system as we test out the performance and player pickup of these new sets.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like I said, I wonder how many players will actually like. Okay, you're gonna craft it once at least, obviously,
Yeah,
just to see it. But how many people will actually actively use it in their missions? Yeah,
not not many, I don't think.
maybe the cured leather one in a bit of longer prospect. Cause like 8 platinum is kind of doable. So cured leather armor might be indeed a viable upgrade for your normal leather armor, but the Wayfarer and the Hunter, nah, not for me.
No, me either, I don't think.
So we'll see. I mean,
Yeah,
it's the first time they're in, so yeah, they're gonna need to rebalance it a bit and stuff.
yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
The
Oh,
90-day limit error, which I already quickly mentioned
you did
before.
mention it,
Yeah.
yes, very briefly.
A number of reports were brought to our attention in the last few weeks about characters disappearing from players' accounts without explanation. After investigation, we have discovered that this is the result of a change made 3 months ago. I think this is the switch between game time and real time timer mission timers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We had originally designed a 90-day timer on ongoing prospects as a failsafe for server storage, which cleanses unused drops and prevents our servers breaching capacity. This was never meant to be activated, as we were able to come up with more sophisticated server solutions, but it was mistakenly activated and went unnoticed. That
Oops.
90-day window kicked into action in the last couple of weeks, causing the flurry of reports we received. To those players who alerted us and sent queries to Rocket and the team, thank you. You managed to raise the problem quick enough that we could quickly disable this feature before it caused even more harm to the community. For those players who have the dog tag lost character screen appearing as a result, the remove from prospect button on the character select screen will revive them and return them to your list. Which is not mentioned, but what I have seen in Discord, you might lose your space gear doing so. However, in that case, send an email to the support team stating your Steam ID, character
Mm-hmm.
name, and the space equipment you were carrying on that character.
Yeah.
You will be refunded the rent and exotics for the lost space gear.
Yeah. But just remember, guys, that, when you're actually reporting the fact that you've lost this gear, they can double check to see whether or not you had it in the first place. So, don't be cheesing it.
Yeah. Don't say like, yeah, I had like 15 Neves pickaxes on me. In an attempt to get like 6k exotics. That ain't
Yeah.
gonna work.
No, it's not. So whilst we do encourage you to talk to the community and give them your feedback, don't, be honest about it,
Yeah.
you know.
And just send an email to support@rocketworks.com. I've seen people mentioning this in Discord. Don't forget the Discord tech support channel. It's by players for players.
Yeah.
Sure, Rocketworks employees, they do occasionally visit the channel, but it's not a channel like directly towards Rocketworks. No, this tech support channel is by players for players.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
moving on.
Okay, now we're on to the change log. Given the fact that it's quite late, can we zip through this and just find the important
Yep.
stuff?
Yep. So we begin with a whole bunch of like the new benches and new armors and changes to the armors, etc., etc., etc.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, here's one. Workshop armors are now repaired at the advanced and electric textiles benches. This is not true. Oh. I just tested it in my outpost. I still had to repair it in the machining bench or fabricator. If you hover over a workshop piece, be it armor, be it tool, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the pop-up tooltip tells you you need to repair it in machining bench or fabricator. I tried to repair it in the textiles bench. I could not. I had to repair it in the machining bench or the fabricator. So nice bullet point, but it's incorrect.
Well, it's just as well that we found that out.
Quickly going through, continuing. Roads. Yeah, and then like the last couple of them are like, well, yeah, for the new content, like the fixing issue causing rope not to be craftable at the textiles bench. I'm glad I fixed it. So you don't have to spend a talent point to craft rope on in your inventory from leather.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah. Right, and then we get to the fixes.
Alrighty.
Removed unused code relating to the old atmosphere enumeration. Removing unused code, good. Cleans up the code, makes the file smaller, so updating gets faster.
Yep.
Doesn't have to load unused code into memory, so performance slightly improved. Me liking.
Yeah, we like improvements.
Yeah. The Abyss Research, the tweaked Abyss Research detection area for the tower top floor location and relevant objectives. This should resolve the issues where player can't complete the other objective without building an additional floor. Let's see, the Abyss Research is a sticks map, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember whether or not we've done it.
Yeah, this is where you have the. So they say Abyss Research, but Abyss Research is the Abyssal Oxide. The Abyssal Oxide. So I think what they mean is the high-rise mission. Because I've seen
Yeah.
complaints about the high-rise mission, like, hey, you have to build like seven-story high. You have to build a base, and there you have to place certain items.
Yeah.
Uh, so you build a floor at 7 high. The mission updates, mission objectives update says, okay, you have the floor. You put down a brazier on the floor, and then it didn't tick off that item in the mission objectives. You had to put it up. And we had this in our high-rise mission as well.
Yeah.
And I have in Discord, I have actually Des see responding to people's questions about this. And indeed, they said will be fixed in the next update, something like that. Like, hey, thank you for notice for telling us. We didn't know. So that
Yeah.
should be fixed now, which is good.
Good. Good. Good. Good. Good.
Fix a log warning that came from an unused row handle. If it's unused, then it shouldn't be used, so it shouldn't generate any warnings and stuff. So good, I fixed that. They delete the old cooked meat icon and remove the references to it in the UMGs. The old cooked meat icon. It's been a while since they changed it. So basically some garbage cleanup finally being done.
Yep.
Also removed some other unused icons. Update all icons used the correct settings, move some icons to the correct folders, and simplify the duplicate folder structures. Good. Some minor item description tweaks. Duplicate, update all icons to use correct settings.
Yep.
Duplicate, move
And duplicate
icons.
again. Yep.
Fixed wood railing stairs icon reference. Maybe we're still referencing the old icon, I don't know.
Hmm.
Add missing icons for items we have meshes for. So basically, they worked a lot on the icons. Apparently.
Yeah.
Fix an issue where rustic storage options did not benefit from the storage increase talents. Any newly created storage will benefit from these talents. I thought we did test it when the rustic bench came out, that update. And I don't know anymore. Didn't they have the additional slots? Can
I
you
don't
recall?
think
You
I
recall?
don't think they did originally, but then they'd said about like they'd mentioned the fact that the refrigeration,
Yeah, that
the
was
ice
6 weeks
boxes and
ago.
stuff didn't have the extra storage from the talents.
Yeah, they
So
fixed
maybe
that
this is
weeks
just
ago.
yeah, maybe this is just like an add-on for that.
Like they finally got notified, like, hey, the talent also doesn't work for the rustic storages.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they fixed it, because I do have the talent.
Yeah, so it's always handy for us.
Yeah. Fix a crash where fine sessions would try to complete after the player had already left the HAB map, head map, causing world reference object to be no longer valid. Not sure. I don't think we ever had this one. Also, not sure which error specifically they're talking about here.
Hmm.
I can't make a direct link to things I've seen in Discord, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Fix offline characters still checking real world time instead of game time for leaving characters behind. Might have to do with the 90 days, although they're talking specifically about offline characters. Eh. But even if you play offline, if you have like bad internet connection, if you still want to play solo, obviously, because you can't do multi. It is nice that your prospects use real time instead of game time for your
Yeah.
prospects.
Yeah.
Fix an issue causing the advanced cloth armor head and chest appearing as arms. This must have been in the test branch, then experimental branch. Enabled hardened leather mesh for dropped armor pieces. Talking about the advanced cloth, that's the Wayfarer, huh? Yeah. Actually, here's one they missed. The cured leather set. You have cured
Yeah.
leather chest, cured leather leg, cured leather arms, cured leather feet. And then you have a cured head armor.
Ah.
They
Yeah.
missed the word leather there. Uh,
Yep.
I
So,
reckon there
s-
will be a feature upvote for this pretty quickly already.
yeah. Sounds like they need their proofreaders to be a little bit more
They need,
diligent.
well, they need to hire people with autism to do the proofreading.
Oh, for sure. They pick it up in a flash.
Oh yeah. Why do you think I picked it up so quickly?
Good.
Anyway, future content. Let's see, anything important here? Juvenile creatures can now specify required or prohibited demodifier states to check for during the taming process. We get some frozen war. Added option for frozen to Added option to frozen water for WT river spline. Huh.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah. Added missing material functions that didn't get added with the ice cool pack. Is this a new pack we will get? Like new like kind of the same as the cooling bandage?
Hmm. Don't know.
Cool ice pack. Sounds cool. On an ice cool pack. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, juvenile creatures undergoing domestication can now eat from filled food troughs and sleep in animal beds. Added new temporary animal bed item. This tells me we will get food troughs and animal beds as well
Yeah.
to be used probably either during the taming process and definitely after the taming process.
Hmm.
So make a pen, place a couple of food troughs, fill them with food, the appropriate food, make some animal beds. What are you gonna need for this? Straw or fiber? I don't know. We'll see.
Hmm.
For the Marshall. Yeah, they have been working on the MOA animal.
Yeah,
Remove affected by weather on work lamps. Hmm, that's a new function. Add tripod spotlight deployable, not yet available. Okay, so we're gonna get more lighting.
sounds fun.
Okay,
Alrighty.
right. Yeah,
And
that's basically it for this week.
and that, yeah, I was just going to say that's basically it for this week, for the update at least.
Yeah, time for some
Um,
gameplay. There is no new mission, so we can continue our high-rise mission.
yep, sounds like a plan. Alrighty. Um, give us 10-15 minutes and we will be right back with some gameplay. Just to let you know, I did put a notification into the announcements in the Discord server to make up for the lost streams of the last couple of weeks because I was offline. We will be having an extra stream tomorrow. Haven't yet decided what it's going to be or what time it's going to be at. So stay tuned to the Discord server announcement channel for more information for that. Um, but we have just wrapped up the update. I think it's time to get down to some gameplay. So give us 10-15 minutes and we will be right back. Hope to see everybody there. So thank you very much, Mike, for joining us, and we will see you shortly. Until then, it's good night from me.
And good night from her.
And remember, peeps, it's a dangerous world out there. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, night night.